Alright, so I did play one other League game after that first one. And this one I tried doing something pretty simple, Um, just 3 racks, but only 1 tech lab. And just to see what I can do with infantry. And naturally I got beaten pretty soundly by this Kuin guy. But he did have, the way he did it made me want to kind of look at his build and see what's all, about him. So we're just going to mostly watch Kuin over here. I'm going to go ahead and build a barracks over here and 2 more over here. But I haven't really seen the replay. Didn't really scout him too much. Right about when I was going to push out, he came at me with his push with tanks and looked rather decent. So building our supply depots, mine's a little bit faster. But I do believe 18. He has, oh wait, that's 11 food to my 11 food. Alright, so tied at food count, although I'm still making 1. So I'll be a little bit ahead. Both of us making our barracks at the same time. He's a little bit farther ahead here for this one. I think I'm a little bit faster on getting my SCV up though. Little timings like this. Meanwhile, he's just scouted that position over here. And actually, I forgot all about my scouting marine. I sent him over here later. I didn't worry about it. My gas is going up a little bit later than his. I didn't really know a good timing for it. That's Army APM. Our APM's pretty bad, because I'm Terran and I'm a newbie. But here we go, back to production. So he's getting his orbital. For some reason I didn't get mine immediately. Oh, I wasn't used to getting it and gas at the same time. And I got that tech lab, which I didn't know how that was affected, because usually I don't get the tech lab on my barracks. Usually I go into a factory instead. He's going to go ahead and build that up, so my orbital's going to be badly delayed. But my depot's going to be done early. And whatever else is being built, he's going to go ahead and get a second gas, which he is going to need, as he did have tanks in his army. So he's muling it up. Meanwhile, I have an SCV chasing his SCV. If we look over, he still hasn't made any Marines. It's kind of odd. I mean, I'm assuming he's tank rushing. He's rushing for that tank. But we'll find out exactly. Still chasing around that SCV over here. Not too much going on. I've built a Marauder. I probably should have pushed with this first Marauder. As he's just now making a Marine. Although Marine does... Nah. Anyways, he finds out, oh, there's a Marauder there. Okay. So now he's thinking I'm gonna go bio, probably. I don't know if this affected anything because he did have that. He's gonna go ahead and get another racks up. And he's making Marines again outside for the push instead of behind his depots. He knows I'm not gonna rush him as, I can spend it. Now something I didn't notice was that when I was I planned on making, a whole bunch of racks but have 1 tech lab, but I didn't notice that making Marauders are 50 more minerals than, Marine, 100 over 50. So I didn't take that into account. So this was very, very delayed, the starting of the barracks. But now he's going to go ahead and get siege tech. Good to know when this timing happens. He's not making a tank yet, which is interesting. We'll find out how that works out. He's just now making a tank. Tank and siege tech. Let's see how well timed he has that. Meanwhile, his second barracks is almost done. I think he has 1 too many on this geyser. Maybe not. No, I guess that's 3. He's patrolling that Marine. He's already seen where I'm at and gotten a good look at my base. In fact, if we go over and look at his screen, he's already seen, pretty much everything that I've got. I mean, he doesn't see the 3 extra racks. But now all the buildings are producing. One thing that was very bad about me was that I didn't really have any hotkeys. This guy should have several. Yeah, at least the 3 and the 2. And then 1 would be your army. So he's already got a tank out at about 620 in. But siege tech doesn't finish until 6:34, 33. So that's just something to know. He's got a pretty scary army, 6 Marines. I'd go ahead and push with this. In fact, this is a standard timing push if he pushed with this. He wouldn't necessarily have siege tech, he might have 2 tanks instead or something. Which, there's the second tank. And so he's sending in some SCVs. Does auto repair on? No. Sending in some SCVs to go ahead and build. And so that's going to be a 8 Marine 2 tank push with, you know, siege tech. And he's going to go ahead and start building that up. Get a reactor over there, as he's going to now be either tank, Marine, or Marine tank I should say, with medevac support or whatever. So here's my guys. I saw, you know, them pushing out, or the SCV coming out, so I backed up. I think I saw them a little bit farther back, so I backed up. I didn't see their tanks, so I figured I would just fight off their infantry, and then I was like, you know what, I've got stim. And then I was like, oh, bad tanks. Well, then that hit the guy so well, and he killed me. That was a pretty good timing push though, but what's he doing? He's lifted off, so he's gonna pump dual port Vikings. As I guess he thought, you know, I was going Banshees or something. I was thinking very, very basic file. And then he goes over and starts building a bunker. My Marines push off his Marines with stim. And I take out that bunker, and eventually it comes back and kills me. Although actually, he lifted off that barracks, and that's actually pretty smart. Where's that rallied to? He had lifted off that barracks, and he was flying it, if we can see. It doesn't have it anywhere. But when I came back down, he already had a whole base around here, which he's probably going to start building now. So I'm going to go ahead and go. I've got this. So I, of course, go ahead and do that. And then I see he's got a barracks and a tank. But I don't see that yet. I've just, you know, killed that off. I'm like, yay! And then I realize, in hindsight, obviously, keep my money down if I want to make more racks, possibly cut Marauders, or just go straight into that general tank play. And I really need to expand, look at my mineral count, if possible. So I'm like, yay, and then, oh look, there's dual medevacs out, 4 Marines, direct reinforcement, and, you know, 2 tanks. So I'm gearing up for a push out in a second now. I think I'm going to go ahead and get Marine shields later. Should be like any second now. Another thing was I probably should have waited before this push out for +1, although I think I was going to go in position and then +1. But here's his fancy contain. He goes over and sends another Marine up, and I'm like, yeah, push out. So he scans me, and I'm like, now would be a good time. I mean, I've only got like 12 more until +1. Will it finish in time? No, it doesn't. So I stim my guys into tank fire, and they all die, and I go good game. As you know, I see that. And that's the end of that game. So overall, a very sounding league loss. I only lost 11 because it was an even match. Now that Marine timing push was even getting his expo, very good of him. Wasn't making out of these 2, but that's fine, because usually you might have to choose between these 2 because of the gas. But that was that. The push would come right about when he has a tank plus up, and then he has to fiddle around with trying to kill all my Marines while he gets siege tech, and he should be able to hold, but it gets very dicey, and I can usually break it unless they're really smart and pull SCVs off to repair and all that. But that's that. That was game 2, so ending recording.